Hi, I'm Daisy,
Hi, I'm David.
and we're the MSA Crusaders.
Hello, we're MSA Crusaders, and we are back again with episode 7. We have Aggie here today with us.
How you doing, Aggie?
I'm doing okay, thank you.
We're
My
so-
standard answer is I'm managing.
There
Absolutely.
you go. That's what we have to do nowadays. We want to thank you for coming in and speaking with us today. We really appreciate that.
Thank you for having this podcast. It's
Oh,
wonderful.
yes, we want to do everything we can for creating awareness. So I'm glad you're helping us do that.
Yeah, but you're welcome.
So, Aggie, you have MSA, I hear.
Yes, I do.
Which one do you have, MSA P or C or both?
I have B, mostly B. I think I have some C, but I think we all eventually get both. But
Yeah.
I have officially have MSAP.
Yeah, you get both. Unfortunately, I'm there. I have both now. But what did you do before you got MSA? Would you like to share that with us, please?
Yeah, I was before I was MSA, I had Parkinson or so I thought. But before that, I was a nurse. I've been a nurse for 42 years. I was on my way to working till I was 71. I wanted to be a nurse for 50 years. I'm not going to make that now, but that was my goal.
Well, that was a long time ago that you had there. And we
Yeah,
thank you for being in part of the medical team.
yeah, I did labor and delivery. It's a wonderful part of nursing.
And
But
Aggie comes to us today from the state of Washington, way up there in the left-hand side of the U.S.
yeah, if you look at the map on the left and the top.
She's on the other side of the Rockies, so she's a different type of people over there in Washington.
Yeah, not what you first think when you hear Washington, beautiful green rain. No, I'm in the desert part of Washington. 7 inches of rain a year.
Well, Aggie, can you tell us what happened and how you became to start having symptoms of MSA?
2 years ago, I did something that if there are any nurses listening, they'll know what skills fair is. It's a yearly activity that you do stations and nurses have to come by and do the thing and then you get signed off. And I was running a station and I had to sign people's papers, like 300 signatures that day. And I remember I thought, hey, that my hand is not working well. And so that was one of the first things I noticed was my handwriting. The second thing I noticed was my speech. I started slurring more and talking slower. And then the third thing I noticed, I had an occasional fall, just clumsiness, I thought. But as those things got worse, I started to go to the doctors to find out what was wrong with me.
And they said you had Parkinson's.
Yeah, I was misdiagnosed like many of us, not with this Parkinson. Even a local neurologist thought I had carpal tunnel syndrome.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yeah, I thought I had that too.
Yeah, and I didn't have that at all.
No.
I went to a rheumatologist to find
Mm-hmm.
what was the matter. Then my PCP, my primary care provider, I remember she said, "Well, you don't have Parkinson because you don't have a tremor."
That is, Aggie, that is a great point. Now, nothing in this life is 100%. I mean, except the love of your child and God and stuff. Okay, but beside that, Parkinson's have resting tremors, and people with MSA typically have action tremors, like when you're lifting something. So I'm glad you said that.
Yeah,
Well, my
anyway,
My mom
Uh,
was a nurse too, and her husband has Parkinson's. So she kept saying, "This isn't what he's going through. You're progressing faster. This isn't
Hmm.
Parkinson's. We gotta find you another doctor." So
exactly.
Did you, Aggie? Did you have when you said your handwriting? Now you probably only write with one hand, like most people do. But did you notice the issues were in both hands when they started, or was it just only in
No,
one?
one-sided, right hand.
Yeah, and see, that's what throws a lot of neurologists off that I read about and watch for videos. Is MSA always starts in both sides of the body at the same, always in both sides of the body at the same time. And Parkinson's only starts in one side of the body every single time. But the problem with MSA, like, is like myself, I'm more of a right-handed person, so I would ignore my left hand. Like I'm not even writing and doing things. So I would see things better in my right hand. But that's why a lot of doctors will get misdiagnosed because they see it only on one side when it's actually
dominant
in both
side.
sides. Yeah.
I just wanted to know how has it affected you emotionally?
How has MSA affected me emotionally? I'm doing, my therapist would say I'm doing a good job at grieving my disease. I'm way more teary than I used to be. Um, I um I tear up when I see my grandsons, when someone is very kind to me, when I see something. Um, so I'm very volatile, if you will.
You said your grandson is very helpful.
Yeah, no, I get I tear up much more. Tear.
Okay. Tear up. Okay.
I saw that picture of you with your two grandsons. That was a great picture.
Yeah, that's probably the last time that I pushed them in a stroller on that picture. I don't think I
Oh,
can do that anymore. I just feel the deterioration just month by month.
Well, what are your grandsons' names?
Peter and Daniel.
Peter and Daniel. Sounds biblical to me, Aggie.
I was gonna say both of them in the Bible itself.
Yeah.
What about autonomic system? Have you had any issues with
Mhm.
that?
I definitely have urinary issues, the urgency. Voice baths are my best friend.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And leaking and UTIs. Just this year, I've had 7 UTIs.
Well, I'll tell you, I have had an UTI straight since January. So, but
Oh,
I finally got it cleared up. What I've done is got a suprapubic catheter, and
oh,
it's made a world of difference.
oh, yeah, I'm not there yet, but who knows? Yeah, constipation off and on,
Oh yeah.
try to manage that.
You have
Uh,
issues with swallowing?
I'm starting to, they're doing, I have speech therapy and they have ordered a barium swallow test.
Hmm.
I haven't done it yet, but most of the time I'm still okay, but I definitely choke more than I used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed a couple months ago, like I don't have the slurring yet. Like I have slurring, but not to the great the detail that a lot of people have. But I
Yeah.
noticed like I can't swallow laying down anymore on my back. Like I gotta stand up to swallow. Like I can't do it. Like sitting in bed swallowing, can't do it.
Yeah, I took multivitamins, big pills. I
Hmm.
stopped taking them, it was too hard.
You can put them in applesauce. That helps me.
Yeah, but my routine was I took them at bedtime. I don't want to eat applesauce at bedtime.
I love applesauce. Applesauce with everything.
Yeah, you're right,
Applesauce
though.
is my best friend. I love applesauce.
Applesauce and cottage cheese too. Give me cottage cheese and applesauce. I don't care what you give me liver. I don't eat liver. You can give me liver. I'll eat it because I have applesauce and cottage cheese. I love it. You have good taste.
Uh,
I have to eat it with all of my medicines.
Mm.
I cannot take them otherwise. But so I had a swallow test and it showed that even, and this is very interesting by the way, the little flap that closes your airway, it closes very slowly too. So it kind of has like bradykinesia, you know.
Yeah.
So, and then I have a little pocket by my airway that fills up and get a little spillage or overflow into that airway. So, as I said, most of the people with US MSA show up, their soil tests show that. So, be expecting that. That's probably what you're going to be told. And unfortunately, I have started the slurring. I apologize if you can't understand me well. But what about your speech? Have you had any speech issues where you have days, Aggie, that people just cannot understand you?
Oh, for sure. And my husband is hearing impaired a little, so we make a imperfect pair. Yeah, speech is a big deal. I watched one of the Z documentaries that were put out by that online convention from a couple of weeks ago. And the third documentary was that guy that completely lost his speech. I don't know if you saw it, but that is my number one fear, that I will lose my speech completely.
Yeah, that's me. There's days that I don't have a voice at all. So I'm always afraid I'm going to say, David, you're on your own today. I can't help you. I can't talk.
I can tell you the only thing that makes me, of course, I'm not in the situation both of you are with the speech or Chew from last upcoming episode too, but um, today's technology, just having a smartphone, you know, greatly. Imagine having this issue 20 years ago without a smartphone where you can
Yeah.
type and show at least show it to somebody or read it out loud. I was just in Europe doing the same thing in French and in Italian, right? So I know we hate to lose our voice, and that's absolutely horrible. But man, we can still communicate and get the point across with some very minor technology that we have today.
Well, I did a little thing for a project with Google that I recorded my voice while I could still talk and say certain things, so that when I do lose my voice, they're going to give me a device with my voice on it.
Ooh, we need to get some info on that one for other people.
Yeah, because smartphones only do so much. I cannot voice to text because my phone makes up stuff that I say. Don't say it all.
It does, and you have a very fascinating accent, Aggie. Where does that accent come from?
I am was born and raised in the Netherlands. I am actually. I'm gonna shut my blinds.
That's okay. Yeah, I said I know it wasn't Western Europe. It had to be somewhere northern and a little Eastern. So yeah. And you speak for having speech issues. You speak slower. I could tell on purpose to enunciate your words better.
Yeah, I love your
And it is not on purpose. It's all I can do. I
Yeah,
can't speak fast anymore.
yeah, you're doing good.
Tell me how your day-to-day activities go. Do you have to have help getting dressed or anything like that, Aggie?
No, I just had to budget the time. I was known as being fast with everything. And now I'm slow and clumsy is my new motto in life, slow and clumsy. So if I have to be somewhere, like for a morning walk, picked up by a friend, I have to budget an hour just for getting dressed. I have to sit down or I'll fall.
Yeah.
And for my pants and my socks, wear compression socks. Oh,
Hmm.
those are so helpful, but they're such a pain to put on.
I
They
can't believe
they help with your blood pressure.
No, they help with the swelling in my legs and my feet.
I got you. Okay.
I can't believe you can still put those on by yourself. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a struggle, and it takes 15 minutes just to put them on.
What about buttons? Can you still button?
Um, I'm still able to button my jeans, yeah, but just I never wear button-up shirts, so that eliminates that part. That's
That's awesome. That's really awesome.
Yeah, and they have a device for Parkinson's people with Parkinson's that for buttoning buttons, buttoning up clothes. It's like you insert it and slide it through, and it works. I saw a video. It works absolutely phenomenal. I don't have one yet, but I'm going to get one because I don't have button up jeans, but I definitely have button up shirts, and I can see myself using that in the near future.
Well,
Yeah.
we spoke earlier about clinical trials and research. Have you found any clinical trials? Are you on any of the clinical trials?
I am with Dr. Aldet in Spokane. He has Northwest Research Center, and I joined the TAK, E.
341.
Yeah, trial. I've just had the first dose last week, so I'm excited to be able to do something, even if I get placebo. It's a double blind, so you don't know if it's
What's that clinical trial for? What's specifically what are they trying to do with that one?
it's supposed to affect it's a disease modifying trial and supposed to break up those clumps of the alpha synucleins
Oh
in your
yeah,
brain.
okay,
And
gotcha.
just reverse the symptom.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
I read about that last week where they think MSA may not just the fact that it's misfolding may not be the problem, but the accumulation of this misfolded proteins and iron is
yeah,
what's causing the symptoms. So yeah, I understand what you're trying to say with that. Makes
that's
sense.
yeah.
the one I got disqualified from.
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
there's a whole bunch more though. I mean, how many clinical trials? Well, you got from that whole medical center you did, right? From that, whoever's hosting it.
Yeah,
Mm.
so that was very depressing. That kind of set me back that week because I didn't want to do anything.
I'm glad you just said it's depressing because it is. And one of the disqualifiers for the one I'm going to, what I got accepted to was if I take antidepressants. So, a lot of times you hear me talk about not taking medicine. We're talking about drinking liquor a minute ago. There's a reason why I don't take some of these medicines because it is an absolute disqualifier for uh, upcoming clinical trials for some of these things.
yeah.
Aggie, what are some things that has been affected in you as far as your family when it comes to MSA? Uh, Things that they've had to change.
How's affected my family? Well, we're modifying our house. We're in the middle of that, making it so that I can live downstairs. We have a three-story home, basement, main floor, upper floor. I still have to go up the stairs, which I can do, but it's not very safe. So they're making a walk-in bathroom and a living space for me downstairs. So how that affects my family is they're having to come to us more.
It makes sense. I told my wife, I said, we can solve the issue of stairs. Just give me like a little slide, that just I could slide down the stairs, but I don't know how I'd get back up the stairs. That's the kicker. So Aggie, having MSA, what might be some, if any, misconceptions about MSA that you would like to clarify for anyone listening? Because you can read a lot about it, but what are some things out there that may not be true or see a different side of it?
Well, in the first place, we are the main educators, right? Every therapist, whether it be speech, physical therapy, occupational therapy, I am their first patient that has MSA. They think, oh, you have MS. Yeah, MS. No, not MS, MSA. And I have a thing that they printed out from the internet.
Don't you hate that? I hate that every time I say
It would be nice because you used to turn to the medical community for answers for your
Mhm.
questions, but I'm often answering their questions.
we need to always have a shirt on when we go to the doctor. No, I have MSA, not MS.
Yeah. Well, so that's a great lead in, though. I mean, that's a great transition. I mean, when somebody says, "What's MSA?" Aggie, how do you even explain that to somebody?
Well, I asked them, what is your cell phone number? Because I'll send you my video. My daughter made a 7-minute video explaining what MSA is. But I also tell them my main symptoms, speech being the obvious on the handwriting, and balance. Everything is balance. I'm amazed at myself that I can walk with a walker, upright walker. I can walk 2 or 3 miles. If you take that balance issue away, what a difference that makes hanging on to the walker. I can move my legs still.
Yeah, if you're not walking drunk, like the MSA is, then things are little bit more copacetic.
That's true. And I fell yesterday. I fell in the driveway of my daughter's. The walker got stuck in the gravel and I fell. Walker and all boom.
Oh
And
no.
I thought every time I fall, I pray that it don't break a bone because it will set me back so much more.
Right.
I got like
Yeah.
just bruises and cuts, so I'm okay.
Well,
Can you
you know what they say, gravel's better than concrete.
Yep.
Yeah, that is true.
It's a little softer.
I'm
Yeah,
just curious. Can you
actually, I fell in the blackberries, very prickly.
Oh yeah, get stuck by not very fun. Not very fun. Can you still bend over and pick up a newspaper?
I have to hold on to something or I'll fall. If I can hold on to a counter, I can bend over.
Okay. So yeah, no more bending over for me.
You need to cut down that blackberry. Now, if you have a blackberry bush on purpose, nobody's cutting down that blackberry bush. But if you're not eating from the blackberry bush, then we need to cut that blackberry bush down.
Yeah,
Yeah.
time to get it go.
Well, this was in Seattle. They have so many blackberries there.
Oh, do they? Okay. Over here, they're so scarce in the Chicagoland area that you see one, like you'll see another for 20 miles.
Uh,
What advice would you give for other people facing similar challenges with their loved ones that might have MSA? There's one thing just to care for someone who has MSA. It's a whole nother thing to have MSA and have a yearning for a different type of care, or hey, given my history and my fight with MSA, I wish that my caregiver would do this instead of that or whatever. What type of feedback would you give for that, for someone that has MSA that's going through it, uh, to support of that?
I had an interesting conversation with my husband yesterday. He said, you tell me things that I don't need to know. Sometimes you tell me too much, and then because has a hearing issue, we get into a pickle with him not hearing and me not speaking clearly.
I bet.
But I told him I already speak way less than I used to. I was a talker, and I simply cannot do that anymore. So if you tell me to say even less, then more silence comes into my world.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't mind you asking me to repeat something because you need people in your life to be a witness. We were at a rest stop. We drove to Seattle. We were at the rest stop and I was on the toilet and I couldn't get up. And I sat there for 20 minutes trying different ways to get up. So finally I managed to. And I came out of the restroom and he said, where were you? I said, I was just trying, actually, at first I didn't answer. I was just in tears.
Yeah.
And so we went back on the road. Well, then you have the noise from the car. It's hard to have a conversation in the car and try to explain it. and he wanted to say, "Oh, never mind." And I'm like, no, it's important to still be able to tell you stories of your grief. You cannot just not say it because you have difficulty speaking because that affects you emotionally.
You
Oh,
you have to still be the person. You still have to. I mean, just speaking is exercise to keep your voice going even longer. Just like walking,
exactly.
anything else. And Michael J. Fox, it was Parkinson's. Michael J. Fox. He said I loved his video. I'm going to cameo it on YouTube at some point. But they said, they asked him, what things do you want to tell people about MSA? And when the people asked, hey, do you need help? And he looked very angry, and he said, I don't need you to touch me and hold me while I'm walking. He says, you touching me, trying to help me, which I appreciate, is hurting me because now I have to worry about you and myself at the same time. But he says it's much easier that I just worry about myself when it comes to walking, and I can do it very well. So, like you said, we may not have to hear it or we don't have to say it, but there's a lot of times we need to say certain things because it's psychological. It feels good. It keeps exercising your voice. And if you don't talk to people, how will they know to, hey, don't touch me while I'm walking? Things like that.
Yeah. Don't assume. Don't assume. Just ask us a question. Do you want help? Couldn't I do this for you? Or can you repeat? Don't assume that I'm tired of repeating myself. I'll repeat myself in order to still be communicating.
I'm gonna say, yeah, go to family restroom anytime you can, so that he can always come in and help you if you're in there too long. And then the next,
Oh,
I
yeah.
suggest is always going one with handrails in it if there's not a family restroom.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't want you to hurt yourself or not be able to come out of there. I've been
Oh, that's scary.
spending the
Yeah.
day in there. That's not fun.
Aggie, my last question for you for today is, as a person with MSA, what is a word of encouragement you'd like to give anyone listening and who might listen later, that are going through their own unique challenges with MSA?
Keep negotiating with your disease, I would say. I know for some people they say you're a fighter. I don't fight my disease because I'm gonna lose. It just exhausts me. But I negotiate with it. And I try, what can I do? What can I accomplish? That feels more achievable than fighting it.
Yeah, definitely don't want to put our expectations too high for ourselves because, unfortunately, like you said, it's a completely downhill battle.
Yeah,
But like you said, even traveling on the bus to visit family and friends and stuff like that, you allocate that time. You know what you can do and can't do. So
yeah,
that's absolutely important.
yeah,
Give yourself daily affirmations to help try to keep you on positive mindset.
yeah.
Good,
I
good for
don't,
you.
I don't have a system, but I do have a therapist that helps me enormously, mental health therapist.
Oh, we have to have that.
Yeah, I think so.
I will say one thing, Aggie. I say every day, you don't know if you have a week, a month, a year, whatever. So live every day the best you can. And also, do everything you can while you can, because there's going to come a time that you can't brush your teeth, you can't shower, you can't get dressed. So be as independent as you can, as long as you can.
Yeah, yeah, I already cannot brush my teeth only because I have an electric toothbrush.
I was gonna
That
say the same thing. Me too.
I
Me
cannot do the
too.
motion.
Yeah, I went out and got one a
Yeah,
couple months ago. My mom suggested one because I told her, I said I really can't rub soap between my hands anymore, so I get to put the pump soap.
Yeah.
And
yeah,
she gave me one of her toothbrushes to try out. But That thing's work really well.
Doesn't
Yeah.
can't scrub anymore.
Thank God for technology.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Aggie, I want to thank you so much for coming and joining us today. It
Thank
has
you,
been
Aggie.
so great getting to meet you and speak with you. And I would love it if you would stay in touch with me and David. Let us know how your journey's going.
I
And
will,
one thing more, we're all MSA Crusaders.
for sure.
Thank you, Aggie.
Okay, bye-bye, guys.